They're not here for us. They're not here to teach you you're from the tribe of Issachar. They're not here to show you that you have to unify. All these 12 tribes have to unify in the last days. I don't care how much Mexicans and Puerto Ricans might not like each other or whatever the narrative and stereotype is, we're family.
That's right.
And we're not Mexican, Puerto Rican, we're Ephraim and Issachar.
That's right.
We're not Azteca, we're not Aztlan, we're not Taino, we're not Indigenous. We're first and foremost, we're the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
To make sure, what's your name? Andres or Les? Maricela. Maricela. So check this out. So real quick, who's Jesus? I want to make sure we do some check on learning because the brother's been teaching a lot of good information, right? So who would Jesus be according to the Bible? What do y'all remember?
The Creator.
Okay, and the Creator, you read about it in the Bible about His image. What did He look like? He was a carpenter. Yep, that's correct. Andres, right? That's correct. And what did He look like? If He was walking the earth today, what did He look like?
But yeah, now that you've read that, now I don't understand why we always saw him as a white man with long hair.
That's what I understood too. That's what they taught me as well. That's what I'm Hispanic Latino. Yo hablo español. Like, my family's from the islands. Like, we learned that Jesus Christ, where's it at? Right here? Look like this. And it's because of the Telemundo, de la Visión, Univision, right? So anytime they depict Jesus on a movie, on images that pop up on Facebook, on Instagram and TikTok, this is the image that you see in regards to Jesus, right? Oh, watch this. This is how they do it. Watch this. Anytime you see an image of the hand of God, what color is His hand? You see a white hand, so subliminally, subconsciously, you're already equating that to a Caucasian man. So everything that's divine and divinity, we think it's Caucasian. You see how they do that? You see what's going on? Now watch this. Revelations. We're going to go back to Revelations 1 and 14. I'm going to show you why they changed the whole color of the real Christ of the Bible. We didn't write the Bible. We didn't put these words in here. Right. But we could prove to you what His image truly is. Read that.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 14.
Bring it out. Start with verse 1.
Verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So revelation, Andres, when you think of the word revelation, sis, what do you think of? There you go. Say that one more time. Revealing. It's that easy. That's the root word, to reveal. So who are we revealing? That's the first time I've ever heard. We done taught hundreds and thousands of people. That's the first time I heard somebody actually utter it before we did. Right. They'll be like, oh, it's going into a dream and a vision. It's like, no, it's as simple as revealing something, right? Now let's see what it's revealing.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the revealing of Jesus Christ. All right, let's reveal Him, right? Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and His hair were white like wool.
So where does wool come from? Because you got a head, you got hair, right? It said it was woolly. Where's wool come from? From sheep, right? You see, I think I got a picture of a sheep right here. You got it? There you go. That's a sheep, right? Una oveja, borrego, cordero, whatever you want to call it. That's a sheep. And as you can see, it's not like horsehair. Horsehair, which is beautiful, right? It falls to the ground, right? Like her hair, right? Like hair that's real fine and thin. Now, right here, this is Afro-textured hair, is it not? If you look around, his would be like sheep, right? Sheep's wool. So what nation of people have hair like that? What nation of people have that type of hair? Black people. You see, a lot of black brothers around us, their hair is woolly. So those attributes fit the black race. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. And His feet, like unto fine brass.
Now His feet were the color of brass. What color is brass? Okay, watch this. Brass is bronze, right? Brass is bronze. Now you got Olympic medals. You have the bronze, the gold, and the silver. The gold is what color? Yellow. Right? And the silver is gray. And the bronze is what color? If you go to the beach, sis, and you said, I want to go get a bronze tan, are you going to get more yellow? Or are you going to get more... You're going to get darker, right? Because that's what bronze is. Bronze is like cafe. It's like the color of coffee. So now it said that Christ's feet were the color of dark bronze, read,
as if they burned in a furnace.
So it says that it was so black that it looked like they didn't put no milk in the coffee. It looked like it was just straight black. Right. This says as if they burned in a furnace. Now, I understand my own people. Y'all are Hispanic, Latino, so I already know what's going on in your minds. Can I tell you what's going on in your minds? Color don't matter. Right? That's what we think. That's what... Why you shaking your head?
It really wouldn't matter white, black, Asian, Hispanic.
So you agree, color don't matter, right?
It's actually crazy because my grandmother, she's been Christian for the longest time.
Right.
And she reads the Bible all the time and talks about Jesus all the time. But like now that I guess that's why I never listened to her, because she just wants to quit. But now that I see it in a different way, it's crazy because I'm like, I never thought about it this way. Maybe I haven't read the Revelation, but she always depicted him as white.
As a white man, right?
Yeah.
But we're reading that he was very, very black. He was very dark-skinned man. Now watch this. Going back to Andres. We understood color don't matter. That's how we feel, right? Now, if color don't matter, I'm going to tell you now, if color don't matter, why did they whitewash him?
Exactly.
Why didn't they make him Asian? I haven't seen no Asian Jesus being flooded on social media. Why didn't they make him East Indian? Why didn't they make him Japanese? Why is it, if color don't matter, why does he always, 98% of the time that the world floods him out there in movies, why does it have to be that race? That's where your spidey senses need to kick in, bro. There's something being done to your mind, Andres. That's something being done to all of us. Right. Watch this. You know what it is? It's not that his color don't matter. We get it because as Hispanic Latinos, we come in all colors. We understand that, right, sis? We come in all colors, right?
Yeah.
Well, watch this. Revelations 2 and 9.
Book of Revelation.
In the same book, the next chapter over, Christ warned us about something. Watch this.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
I know thy works.
He said he knows our works. Who work harder than the Mexican man? In the world, nobody works harder than the Mexican race. Y'all are the hardest working nation, right? Read.
Right. And tribulation.
He knows our trip, but even though y'all the hardest working nation, y'all still number one, just like us, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Jamaicans, blacks. We're number one in crime, and drugs, and diseases, and poverty, and war, and everything. Even though we work the hardest, read.
And poverty.
Watch this.
But thou art rich.
He said we're rich because God eventually is going to give us the wisdom of the Lord, the wisdom of God, the wisdom of heaven, the wisdom of the scriptures is what makes us rich. Come on.
And I know.
And he knows, here's the kicker to that whole color thing.
And I know.
He said, and I know.
The blasphemy.
My sister, what's a blasphemy? When somebody speaks blasphemy, what does that mean?
Going against you.
Okay. What do you say, Andres? What's a blasphemy? My sister. A blasphemy, would y'all agree a blasphemy is a great lie? Right. It's a lie that's on a different level. Okay? It's a very
horrific.
It's a lie in regards to like a hyperbole, meaning it's a very grand, immense lie. That's what a blasphemy is.
Right.
Read.
And I know the blasphemy.
The blasphemy
of them.
Of them, meaning there's a certain people that's lying that are what?
Which say they are Jews.
That are saying they're the Jews.
And are not.
The dots are connecting. Hold on, he says they are what?
Which say they are Jews and are not.
Now, when you think of the Jews, who do you think of? Who do you think of? You think of the Israelis. You think of those that have the little Barbie curl things with the hats. But mind you, if Jesus was a black man, who else would be? What would his people look like? They would look like us. Because y'all are negros too. Don't get it twisted, Mexicans. Y'all are negros too. Right. All right? So, Christ's people would look like him.
Right.
They wouldn't look. That means they don't look East Indian. They don't look Arab. They don't look Caucasian. He said there's a people saying that they're the Jews and are not. Who are they?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
What a coincidence that the chapter prior, he said, my feet is black as if they burnt in a furnace.
Right.
They're bronze. I have woolly hair. Oh, and by the way, chapter 2, later on, he says, there's a people saying that they look like me, and they're not. They're not the real Jews.
Right.
Ain't these the same people that rule the world? They own YouTube, they own the internet, they own MSNBC, they own CNN, they own everything we watch. BET, they own Telemundo, Univision. When you go back and you look, everybody's of that nation. Did you know that? You know who else? I'm gonna tell you somebody, because the Bible goes by who your father is.
Right.
That's how your seed shows you who you are. Y'all ever heard of, I know y'all got abuelitas and all that, right? Who watched Don Francisco more than us?
Yeah.
Did you know his daddy was so-called Jewish? This guy is a mega superstar. This guy's a white man. That's what he is. He just speaks Spanish. But our people, because they don't understand the science of God, they don't understand this Bible. This is why they took the Bible out of schools. This is why they don't teach us this Bible, because we'll be like, no, what you're educating me on is contrary to God's education.
Right.
Watch this, Numbers 1 and 18.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18.
Let's see if I have to go to Ancestry.com. Let's see if I have to go to the mother, to the father. Watch this.
And they assembled all the congregation together.
You ever heard of a census? A census, where they come by and they take your information. You never had a census? So the census, where they come by, they get that from the Bible. They get that where they get all the number. They number everyone. They get that from the book of Numbers. Read.
On the first day of the second month.
Look at what they did.
And they declared their pedigrees.
Meaning their nationality. They said, this is my nationality. How did they declare what their nationality was?
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
That's it. There's no confusion. There's no such thing as mix. Where if my mom's Dominican, my dad's Puerto Rican, then I'm just Puerto Rican.
Right.
If your parents are, if your dad is Mexican, but your mother is no. If she's Guatemalan, you're Mexican. You see what I'm saying? You declare your nationality. So all that stuff where they say you're 75% European, 15% Indigenous, all of that is garbage to confuse us.
Right.
Watch this, James 3. Get that where there's confusion. There's a reason why they put confusion in the air like that. Watch this. Read that.
The book of James, chapter 3, and verse 16.
Read.
For where envy and strife is,
Wherever there's battles and contentions,
there is confusion.
there's confusion. And that's the spirit that Satan, the devil, loves to operate on confusion. He loves to muddy the waters and cloud your thoughts. That's how Satan operates. That's what he does with us, with Hispanic Latinos. You know what he tells us, sis? This is how they neutralize us so that there's no fight in us. They say, hey, you guys, you're mixed with Spaniard blood, Indigenous blood, or Aztec blood, and African blood. So now you can't fight, you can't pick a side. You don't know who's who. Now you're just like, well, I could be part of the white people, I could be part of black people, I could be part of Indigenous people. So now you just let them do everything. There's no fight in you. There's no more revolutionary spirit because you don't have a side to pick. But that's not how God said our nationality was.
Right.
God says our nationality is through the seed of our fathers.
Right.
And our fathers were mighty Aztec warriors.
Right.
Our fathers were mighty Mayan warriors, Incan warriors, which all go back to the 12 tribes of Israel right here. They all go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. They didn't want to tell you. They didn't want to tell you that you're actually in the Bible.
Right.
You're just not going to find yourself as the word Mexican. You're going to see yourself. Your forefather was Issachar.
Gracias.
There's a city in Mexico called Issachar. There's a lot of books in history that we have, not just the Bible, to prove that y'all are from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
That we're from the tribe of Judah. We're from the tribe of Ephraim. We're from these tribes.
Right.
Now they took this out of it. They're not going to teach you this in college.
Right.
Baylor University ain't going to teach you
Right.
this. None of these man-made religions that we showed you earlier. Obviously, you didn't learn that there. You understand? Because the agenda is to keep us away from the truth so that we don't wake up to the garbage and all the lies that they've been feeding us like New Year's. This is not the New Year. Did y'all know that? This is the New Year for, you know, for what the world is, but not according to God.
That's right.
Did y'all know that? So there's many, this is the thing. We feel like we're educated and we're smart, but we're actually very, very dumbed down in religion and American education. We have been dumbed down. And what brings us wisdom and intelligence and understanding is this.
Right.
If it's put in the right hands. Why do you think they killed Christ? Why do you think they killed the apostles?
Right.
Because they were empowering people with this kind of information. They were empowering their people to come back and bethink themselves and learn who they really are. You understand? And that's what the government didn't want. Governments and religion, they all work together,
That's
man,
right.
to keep us, to keep us blind, to keep us away from the truth. Here's more proof. Watch this, Matthew 2:13. Matthew 2:13. We went to one precept. We're going to continue to go to more precepts. Remember, color didn't matter. It was the fact that they changed his race.
That's right.
That's what they did. They changed his race. And God called that, Jesus said, they're blasphemous for doing that.
Right.
You understand? That was a blasphemy. Because even though color don't matter, according to God, he said race matters.
That's right.
You can't call yourself a Jew if you're not a Jew. That's
Right.
another race.
Right.
And that's blasphemous if you do so.
Right.
Because you know who the real Jews are?
Uh-oh.
Y'all are the real Jews.
That's right.
Y'all are the real Jews. We are the real Jews. That sounds crazy. Nobody's ever told us that. That's like, what? I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew? Watch this, read.
Matthew chapter 2 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
And when they were departed,
Watch
behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph
You see that? An angel came to Joseph. You probably read this story in Matthew 2. Watch this.
in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child.
He said, arise. He was talking to Christ's father, right? Joseph. He said, arise, take the child and do what?
And his mother,
And take his mother.
and flee into Egypt.
Why did he tell him that, sis? Why did he tell him, run, go hide in Egypt? Take the baby, Jesus, and go hide in Egypt. Why did he do that? Because it was called the slaughter of the innocents. Remember
Right.
Matthew 2, where Herod was going to kill all of who? All the children, right? So he said, go hide and flee. Where? Where's Egypt?
Uh-oh.
Where's Egypt? Egypt, we can pull it up on a map. Egypt is in Africa. So now we're not thinking as men. We're not thinking no knock on you sisters, but men, we're more logical. Y'all are more emotional beings, right? So logically and demographically speaking, Egypt is in Africa. So if Mary, Joseph, and the child was gonna go hide, what race of people were they hiding with? African people. So there's no way somebody like this could hide in Africa.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So give me Song of Solomon 1 and 5. So we're showing you that there's much proof in the Bible that Christ is a black man, but they're not going to teach you that. And it ain't that he was East Indian. It ain't that he was Arab.
Bring it
up.
up.
It was the Middle East. No, this was black people. That was us.
Right.
Watch this. Read that.
The book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5.
In case y'all didn't know, Solomon was one of Christ's ancestors, right? He's one of their ancestors. Look at what Solomon says about himself.
I am black.
What?
I am black.
That's written in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Right there, verse 5. So y'all can see it. He says, I am black but comely, meaning I'm black and handsome. Read verse 6.
Verse 6. Look not upon me, because I am black.
Keep reading.
Because the sun,
Because the what?
the sun,
The sun hath done what?
hath looked upon me.
What happens when you're in the sun for a long time?
Bring it out.
You get dark. You don't get sunburned, you get red. But you get darker. You know what I'm saying? White people get sunburned, but we don't get sunburned. We get more bronze.
Right.
We get more brass.
Bring it out.
You see what I'm saying? So go to Job 30 and 30. It's written all over the Bible. When you read about Paul and the disciples, you ever see the Great Supper picture? That should be black men.
Right.
You know, and the reason why that's important is because we're the real Jews. Now, this is the thing. If they could change the race of your God, they could change your race too. Now you've gotten them to accept the changing of the race of your God. So now what do you think they're going to do to you? They're going to be like, hey, look, you're Latino, which means a language, Roman, what is it, Latin language. That's not a nationality. Oh, you're Hispanic. What the hell is Hispanic? Oh, that's you're a slave to the Spaniards. That's what Hispanic goes to. You're Latinx. They give us all these false nationalities where we cannot find our divine nationality, our God-given nationality, which we should embrace and love. It's sad that we don't embrace and love our God-given nationality. Read that.
Job chapter 30 and verse 30.
Watch this.
My skin is black upon me.
My skin is black. So you read, we can keep going for a long time to bring out all these scriptures that pastors like to hide. We can keep going there, right? But the purpose for us bringing y'all back to y'all true nationality is to show you that you have a heritage. You have a true culture. This fake New Year's is not our culture.
Right.
3 Kings coming up on the 6th, that's not our culture. La Santa Maria and all that BS, that's not our culture.
That's right.
Okay? That Christmas that just transpired, all of it, if you do your homework, if you look us up on YouTube, IUIC, we have classes proving that all these things are satanic. Did y'all know that? Astrology is brujeria, santeria. That's all it is. All that, oh, I'm a Gemini, I'm Aquarius. That's santeria. You're dealing with Satan. You're dealing with demonic forces when you're adhering to these things.
Right.
You understand? So you don't want to be a part of that, right? You fear God. You don't want, because anybody that goes into the realm of these evil things, what do they end up doing? They end up getting put to death by God. Did y'all know that? Look at what God says, Romans 6 and 23. Read what you got.
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 23.
Come on out.
For the wages of sin is death.
The wages of sin is death. So, being in astrology, that's death, right? If we celebrate this fake New Year's, is that not a tradition of man? Or can we find that in the Bible? If we can't find it in the Bible, that means that a man did it.
Right.
And those men that created these man-made traditions are our enemies.
Right.
They're not here for us. They're not here to teach you you're from the tribe of Issachar. They're not here to show you that you have to unify. All these 12 tribes have to unify in the last days. I don't care how much Mexicans and Puerto Ricans might not like each other or whatever the narrative and stereotype is, we're family.
That's right.
And we're not Mexican, Puerto Rican, we're Ephraim and Issachar.
That's right.
We're not Azteca, we're not Aztlan, we're not Taino, we're not Indigenous. We're first and foremost, we're the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
This is the greatest information y'all ever received, man. Y'all not gonna hear this nowhere else. But if y'all love God, you love God, let's watch this. Give me that, because I'm gonna let y'all go in a second. 1 John, yeah. We appreciate y'all. Watch this. 1 John 5 and 3.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3.
Now you can't give God hugs and kisses. So let's see what love is according to God.
For this is the love of God.
Our mind ain't God's mind. God is now gonna fix us because we thought that love was hugs and kisses and emotion. No, God says this is what love is. If you love me, he said this is what you gotta do. Read.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
You see that? 1 John 2, 3, and 4. That we keep his commandments. And it says that his commandments are not grievous. Okay, read.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2,
Oh, Paul, read.
2 verse 3.
Watch this.
And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
We know God if we do what?
Keep his commandments.
If we keep his commandments. So that destroys all these religions.
Right.
The Bible, if you read from the beginning book all the way to the last page, what do you think the main message is? Keep his commandments.
That's right.
That destroys all the confusion in the millions of religions on this earth. Because you're like, well, what's the real religion? All you got to do is go to the book. It tells you, keep his commandments. But what's the number one problem behind that? Nobody's ever taught you his true commandments. It's more than 10. It's more than 10. You got the thou shalt not rape commandment in Deuteronomy 22. You can't sleep with beasts in Leviticus 18. You can't eat pork. There's many things, many commandments that we have not been taught that we got to come back to. Or like you said, you left church because of money. There's no tithing in the church. We ain't supposed to be doing that.
Right.
That was for the Levites. They're robbing our people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it starts with this white supremacy image.
Right.
This is all white supremacy. When God says we're the supreme beings on the earth, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And hereby we do know that we know him.
If we do what?
If we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him.
He that says, I love God, I know God, I got a personal relationship.
And keepeth not his commandments.
But you still celebrate New Year's and Christmas and astrology.
Is a liar.
God calls that person a liar. Read.
And the truth.
And they ain't got no truth.
Is not in him.
You see that? There's no truth in that person. Don't you want to walk in truth? Don't we all want to walk in truth? So in order to walk in truth, what must we do? What must we do?
That's right.
That's it. Very simple.
Nation is men leading by example.